My name is Aish. I am from Blackpool. I live and work in Blackpool, right here in House of Wings. This is where I spend most of my time with the co-director, co-artistic director, Sam Bell. So the Blackpool Style Assembly is a collective. It's a collective of artists and designers from Blackpool. It started out as just one event, something that we've been wanting to do for a really long time, a creative project that's been kind of bubbling up for a while. And it started out as a catwalk event where loads of designers and artists from across the town came together and put on an epic event. It was really, really cool. It was 7 different catwalks. There was some film involved, some presentations, and it was all about really kind of promoting how important sustainability within fashion is. It's something that's really close to our hearts and that we want to really, really kind of educate young people and adults in Blackpool about more. So the Style Assembly came about by it's more of a launch event. And now it's an ongoing, longer term project so that we can have legacy and keep going with the message about thinking consciously about fashion. The collaborators on the first year of the project, we had some really, really amazing partners. We were really excited about the people who we were working with. We teamed up with Live Like Ralph. We were working with Her Brand. We worked with Alora. That's another brand who was on the project. Crafty House. We worked with Crafty Cloth and Monica. And we also had loads and loads of really talented photographers, design students, graphic designers, content creators, people making film, event planners, event organisers. It was just, we actually couldn't believe how many creative people came together to make the event happen. It was really exciting and there was just such a buzz about the place. So we were really pleased with how it all came together. So Beyond the Beds is a project that we conceptualised because we also live and work in a Blackpool B&B. There's absolutely hundreds of bed and breakfasts in and around the town, and obviously we're quite aware of how quickly hotels, B&Bs go through bed linen, cotton, and we've always kind of been interested in what the life of a garment is or a piece of material after it's been used. The idea originally was that we wanted to take like overused bed linen that wasn't really in a good condition anymore and make it into a garment and see like what we could do with it so that it had a life beyond the beds. And so we worked with Monica from Crafty House and she sculpted 2 really cool funky outfits, again that were like reminiscent of the town because one of them was kind of clownish, and the other was like kind of like Renaissance style, and she made them into 2 garments which we then worked with local artists to kind of like, you know, mess them up and make them into something else. The project has a vision for the future in that we want to collect misused or overused got bed linen and make it into something else. So whether it be that we feed it into the college for the students who are there to practice on, or whether people come into this community and practice stitching and sewing, or whether they make it and form it into new garments, it's just important that it doesn't go straight into landfill or that there's some other use for bed linen after it's been finished with, because it is a thing that's just discarded so much. That's something that I'm really passionate about when I'm working with the community. It's about thinking about how you can get people to start thinking differently about what they're buying themselves. It's really, really difficult in a world where we've got this fast fashion industry. People can buy more for less. They're going to want to do that. But it's about trying to convince people to think, what am I going to do after I've worn this once? Like, is it going to be, am I going to use it again? How can I pass it on? Is anyone going to be interested in it? Or is it just going to go into the bin? Because, you know, people need to understand the impact of that and how much that's happening and how bad that is for the planet. So yeah, I think, you know, Beyond the Beds and the Blackpool Style Assembly is really about trying to get people to make better choices and to really consciously think about what they're consuming and what they want to consume and what they want to do to, you know, help with the environment and lessen the impact of the fashion industry.
I'm Neil Roberts. I'm CEO of an organisation called Live Like Ralph Community Interest Company. We're a non-profit charitable organisation, and we were set up in memory of my son Ralph, who sadly died 4 years ago of an undiagnosed condition called sarcoidosis. Ralph was a very talented person. He was a skateboarder, he was an artist, he was a photographer, and he was very much into fashion. Um, he went to probably the best fashion college in the country, St Martin's in London, and came out with a first. He made his own clothes, and he lived life to the full, and we couldn't lose Ralph and not allow him to have a legacy. So we're here in Ralph's house today. We've built an indoor skate park in Blackpool where kids can learn to skate. Um, but there's a lot more to Ralph than just skateboarding. So I mentioned fashion before, um, and we were asked to be part of the Blackpool Style Assembly. Um, that took place in December last year, and the Style Assembly was a fashion show. Basically, it was a collaboration with Live Like Ralph, House of Wings led it. They're another excellent Blackpool charity, um, and other people involved in the fashion industry, particularly young people, displaying what they had. The fashion show itself was on two levels. One was down here in Ralph's house, where we had our shows, and then upstairs, House of Wings and other people from Blackpool were displaying their stuff on the catwalk. And the whole event, yes, it was quite nerve-wracking coming up to it because I've never done anything like this. My family hasn't, so my wife was involved, and my granddaughter Nico actually directed one of the shows that we did. So Nico was directing the merchandise side of Live Like Ralph. She was dressing all the models, she was bespoking the merch. She's only 15 years old, but she wants to get a career in fashion, and we're hoping that that helps her because the day itself was really successful. One of the fashion students was Michael, and he directed the show where we were displaying Ralph's clothes. So I've got an example of one of his shirts that was in the show, and Michael did an extraordinary job of making sure the models looked great in Ralph's clothes. The range and array. I mean, Ralph bought a lot of second-hand stuff. He made his own clothes. He had very striking clothes, and that was shown in the fashion show. And yeah, Michael did a brilliant job. And I'm sure he's got a very good career ahead of him. And this is part of what the Style Assembly wants to do. Yeah. Is to help young people who are students and give them a platform. And they definitely did that on the day. And yeah, Michael did a fantastic job with Ralph's clothes. It was very emotional at the end. Can't deny it.
I'm Sam Doherty.
I'm Michael Amore.
So originally, the concept came from a conversation that I had with Ashley, who's my wife, and we were talking about style and fashion and what it meant to us to be from Blackpool by the seaside, but also our influences in what we wear.
So I did the Blackpool School of Arts collection, which I used my own piece that I created at college, and then moved on to her brand, which was very fun. I think that was probably my favourite one. Then House of Wings after, and then the one that I helped design was Dress Like Ralph, which was also a very interesting aspect because as long with modelling clothes, it's a whole different thing putting outfits together, especially when you don't know who you're going to have for models, what vibe, what aspect you want to go for. But I've thoroughly enjoyed the process, and it was a privilege for Neil to be happy with me using Ralph's clothes to do that as well. Mm-hmm. It was a struggle definitely getting models. It's a new event. People don't like doing it if they're not getting paid or whatever. But I feel like that aspect also helped because it meant it was more pure. Everyone wanted to be there. It was a good vibe. No one left the building, audience member or performer, disappointed at any point, and everyone enjoyed the process. So I feel like that also helped in a way.
Just the next one, come and support it, come and get involved. You'll see something that perhaps you may never have seen before, and it could inspire you, it could inspire your kids, because the events are family friendly. Yeah.
My name is Monica Waddle. I'm originally from South America, Colombia. I'm a fashion designer. Classic clothes is dopamine dressing. It's like maximalist. And also I like to introduce my heritage. It's like the DNA of the brand. So it's vibrant colors, pattern, mix of texture, textiles, and so yeah, just like happy clothing. The reaction was really good. People was give me compliments on the day, and they follow me on my social media accounts, and asking for pieces. So yeah, it's been really well for marketing and networking, and let my brand know for more people. So yeah, I think Blackpool culture fashion, I think it holds an immense potential, especially the town is evolved at the moment. So there is the potential to Blackpool BC in the future as a maybe fashion trend setting. Doesn't matter, I guess, where you are, do you know what I mean? Because obviously everything is worth it is gonna be hard. You know, as it was easy, everybody would do it. So if you really love it, just go for it, and you know you find the way. And so yeah, just go for it. You can do it. Si tú quieres algo, siempre encuentra la manera de hacerlo. Y si no lo quieres, pues solamente encontrarás excusas.
I messaged Sam on Instagram asking if I could make her some clothes, because I saw that she was doing all these cool events in Blackpool, like show type events. So I messaged seeing if I could design something for that. And then that's how we got in touch. And then we met for a coffee, and she told me about the style of assembly and asked if I wanted to get involved. This was inspired, the black and red look was inspired by, there was this White Stripes concert that I'd been obsessed with, and it was in Blackpool Tower Ballroom. I've got the CD over there, we can listen to it after, but it's really sick. And he talks about Blackpool quite a lot. It's called The White Stripes Under Blackpool Lights. It just has so much character, Blackpool, like, and it always has, and it always will. And like, I think these things are down, it's all down to perception, like, of the individual. Like, you might have this crazy perception on what London's like, and then you go to London and you're looking for that type of energy, and you find it because you're looking for it, and it seems like really cool and really creative because you're looking for that type of thing. Or you might go to London with the perception that it's like all royal and like British, and it probably will come across like that because you're going and looking for that. And if you start thinking of Blackpool as this crazy creative place that's full of flashing lights and like it's like got this certain energy, I think you definitely will find it. And I think we did find it when we at the Style Assembly. Like, that was so vibrant with creativity and craziness. Like, I think it shocked a lot of people.
Hi, I'm She. I'm from Blackpool. I'm a tooth gem technician, DJ, and business owner.
Hi, I'm Her. I'm co-owner of Her Brand, local business here in Blackpool. We work quite closely with House of Wings, who set up the Style Assembly originally. We're very involved with House of Wings, and we always have been. We kind of tie in through our DJing. We have a DJ collaboration together. So the idea was pitched to us very early on in the process, and we've been quite involved in the creative process of putting the event together and coming up with the ideas of the event and how it'll work. Our performance at the first Style Assembly, our show was very queer focused. Our brand is we're a lesbian owned brand. We're very queer driven. Our space is a space, we don't just focus on like the actual selling side. Like, our whole brand, we want it to be a community, and it's like a very inclusive community. So our focus for our first show was like the Vogue balls and like in the 80s, like the drag scene and that was what inspired it. And the pieces are all very extra, very over the top, very colourful, eye-catching pieces, because we wanted to show that sort of like queer excellence and like extravaganza through our fashion and our pieces. This town has so much potential to be something great, and it's just like finding that appreciation for it and not looking at those rough bits that have always been highlighted, looking at the positive bits that are coming through.
Different energy putting into it instead of people complaining about where they're at currently.
I'm Sarah, and I have that alternative, which is a creative space in Blackpool, photography studio downstairs, and then creative spaces upstairs. My sort of part in it, I feel, was helping to spread the word that this event was happening and to help gather people that might be willing to collaborate into it. So it was really good because some students were able to get involved. So you had makeup students, photography students, fashion students. And I think it was really good hands-on work experience for them. It's not easy when you're creative to get work experience because a lot of people are freelancers and they need permission from their clients, things like that. So this is a really cool thing for them to be able to put on their CV that they were part of this. It can go into their portfolio building. I think the fact that there was such a big audience on an event that happened in such a small amount of time shows that people want things like this. They want to go to events like that. I'm involved with a local art gallery, and the turnouts for that are always massive as well. And I think people want to go and they don't want to have to travel. They want things that are on their doorstep, and people want to support local. It's not just, if you look in anything like food, slow fashion, local artists, people like going and seeing the local band, eating from the local takeaway rather than a chain. And I think this ties into it. It's something where they can go and have that really cultural, fashion inspired event, and they're supporting local people at the same time. I think there's a really big push for things that are eco at the moment. And sometimes there's companies that do a bit of greenwashing where they pretend that they're eco and they're not really. And same with sustainability. I think it's been a bit of a buzzword. So when you go to an event like that where you could see the outfits that had been made and you really didn't know they'd come from bed sheets, and then you watched the video of how it was created and you could see the collaboration that happened, and then you were told they're old bed sheets. I quite like that. It's a bit of a mic drop moment of, you don't have to be spending fortunes on fabrics. You can go and find things and reuse and repurpose. And there's the benefits to the environment and stopping things going into landfill. But also, I think whenever you're asked to do something that requires a bit of out of the box thinking, if you're given something you've got to repurpose, I think that helps get your creative juices flowing a bit better, because suddenly you've got to go into problem solving mode and you're not just nipping to the shop to pick something up. You've got to make it from what's there. So really good energy. And I think it ties in the two things, that they have those two worlds, that they have that, where they run the hotel, but then also they do this creative stuff and they're making sure everything's working cohesively. It's cool.
I think that, when you're young and you're growing up, you think that you have to go somewhere else to get something. That's the kind of concept, isn't it? Like, oh, when I'm older, I want to do this. And a lot of, for many years, I've always known people to think, right, well, when I'm 18, I'm going to leave Blackpool and go and do this and go and do that. I don't think that that's the case anymore. I think that, and we've always kind of said this, like, we'd love to shift that. We'd love to shift it so that people were excited about staying here and making things happen here and feeding into that, being a part of the change that's happening in Blackpool. This place and this project is for everyone. We love Blackpool people. We love creative people. You don't have to be from here, but if you're part of this community, by all means, get involved with this project, because what makes it exciting is that versatility, is that like variety of different influences. So yeah, we'd love to work with as many different people as possible who are creative and who've got great ideas.